This is the Possible Care for Dogs. The podcast begins.
Welcome to a new episode of the Possible Care for Dogs podcast.
Great to be here.
In today's episode, we are exploring further Irish Setter health, essential best practices for a happy and healthy life.
The Irish Setter, just a beautiful breed, aren't they? Graceful, loads of energy.
Absolutely stunning. And, beyond that gorgeous look and boundless enthusiasm, there's quite a bit to know about keeping them healthy.
Right. They can lead really long, vibrant lives, but you do need to be aware of certain things. That's the goal today, right?
Exactly. Our mission, if you like, is to really dig into the essential best practices. We want to pull out the key things owners need to know for keeping their Irish Setter happy and healthy, from the puppy stage right through to their golden years.
Yeah, we've looked through, quite a few sources, breed guides, some specific research papers, trying to get those really practical tips.
Good stuff. So where should we start? Maybe tackle some of the common health issues first.
Sounds like a good plan. Hip dysplasia often comes up, doesn't it? Especially with these bigger active breeds.
It does. What's the specific concern for setters?
Well, like you said, it's common in sporting breeds. Their size, their activity, it just puts stress on the joints. Hip dysplasia is basically an abnormal formation of the hip joint.
Right. The ball and socket don't fit quite right.
Exactly. And that can damage the cartilage, lead to arthritis down the line. Genetics definitely play a big part.
Okay.
But interestingly, things like growing too fast as a puppy or, carrying too much weight, that can make it worse too.
So it's nature and nurture, kind of.
Precisely. Screening is important, like through the OFA, the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals, but it's also about managing how they grow, their weight, being proactive right from the start.
Makes sense. Okay, another one that sounds pretty scary is gastric dilatation volvulus. Bloat.
Oh, yeah. Bloat is, it's a serious emergency, especially risky for deep-chested dogs, and Irish Setters fit that bill.
So what happens? The stomach fills with gas?
It does. That's the dilatation part.
Yeah.
But the really dangerous bit is the volvulus, where the stomach can actually twist on itself.
Oh.
Yeah, it cuts off blood supply. It's life-threatening. So the advice we saw really focuses on prevention through feeding habits.
Like what?
Well, instead of one big meal a day, giving 2, maybe even 3 smaller meals, it helps avoid that big gas buildup.
Okay, smaller meals. Anything else?
And crucially, no heavy exercise right before or for about an hour after they eat.
Right, let the food settle.
Exactly. We don't know the exact cause of the twist, but these steps are widely recommended to, lower the risk.
That's really good practical advice.
Yeah.
Okay, shifting gears. What about their eyes? Progressive retinal atrophy, PRA. You mentioned some research.
Yes, PRA. It's inherited, sadly. The cells in the retina, the photoreceptors, they gradually break down,
Leading to vision loss.
Yeah, eventually blindness. But the interesting thing with Irish Setters is that genetic research, like studies published in veterinary ophthalmology, has actually pinpointed specific gene mutations for some forms of PRA in the breed.
So you can test for it.
You can, which is great for breeders making decisions and for owners to know the risk. But routine eye exams by a specialist, a veterinary ophthalmologist, are still really important.
Even if they test clear.
Yeah, because there can be different forms. Early detection is always key.
Got it. The sources also brought up epilepsy and hypothyroidism. Anything specific for setters there?
Well, they aren't unique to setters, but epilepsy seizures, basically it does seem to pop up in certain family lines.
Right.
The main thing is getting an early diagnosis from the vet. There are good medications now that can manage it really effectively, give the dog a good quality of life.
And hypothyroidism.
That's when the thyroid gland isn't producing enough hormone. You might see things like weight gain, lack of energy, maybe skin problems.
Okay.
Again, early detection helps a lot. Regular blood tests, maybe annually, that check thyroid levels can catch it before it becomes a major issue. Then it's usually manageable with medication.
It really sounds like those regular vet visits are, fundamental.
Absolutely. Preventative care is huge.
Okay, let's talk about something we control every single day. Food. Nutrition. For an Irish Setter, what are the key things?
Right. Well, they're athletes, really. High energy. So they need a diet that fuels that. The general guide seems to be around, say, 2.5 to 3.5 cups of high-quality food per day.
Split into 2 meals, you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, definitely split into at least 2 meals helps with that bloat risk, too. And high quality is the key phrase there.
What does that mean practically, like reading the label?
Look for meat as the first ingredient. real meat. That ensures they're getting enough protein for their muscles and energy levels.
Good tip. Meat first. What else should be in there? Or what should we maybe add?
Well, thinking about those joints again, things like omega-3 fatty acids can be good. They have anti-inflammatory properties.
Like from fish oil.
Yeah, often from fish oil. And glucosamine is another one often mentioned for supporting cartilage health. Some foods have these added, or you can get supplements.
Best to check with the vet first on supplements, I assume.
Always. Definitely talk to your vet. And the other huge thing with nutrition, circling back a bit, is just not overfeeding them.
Right, keeping them lean.
Exactly. It helps the joints, lowers the bloat risk. There was that big Purina lifespan study, mostly on labs, but it showed lean dogs lived significantly longer and healthier lives. It's a pretty safe bet that applies broadly.
Resisting the urge to give extra treats then. Okay, so fuel them right, keep them lean. What about burning that fuel? Exercise, that famous setter energy.
Oh yeah, they need an outlet for it. We're talking at least 90 minutes of proper activity a day.
90 minutes, wow.
Minimum. Yeah, walks, runs, maybe some retrieving or field work if you can. They were bred as gun dogs, remember?
True. So it's not just physical, it's mental too.
Totally. You've got to engage their brains as well as their bodies. Otherwise, they get bored.
And a bored setter is.
Potentially a destructive setter, scent work is fantastic for them. Hiding treats, teaching them scent discrimination games, basic training, trick training, keeps their intelligent minds busy.
Nose games, maybe basic hunting drills.
Perfect. And things like rotating their toys, introducing new challenges regularly, that helps prevent that boredom setting in. The Spruce Pets had some good ideas on that front.
Sounds like giving them a job is beneficial, maybe canine sports.
Oh, they often excel at those. Agility, fly ball, even things like dock diving. They're athletic, eager to please. It's a great combination for sports. It's a fantastic way to channel energy and bond, too.
Okay, great ideas. And hey, everyone, this feels like a good spot to just quickly say, if you're finding this helpful, please do take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us bring you more deep dives like this one.
Yeah, we appreciate the support.
Right, back to our setters, that amazing red coat. Grooming must be, well, a commitment.
It is, definitely. That beautiful coat doesn't stay tangle-free on its own. You really need to brush them regularly, like at least 3 times a week.
3 times a week, minimum.
Yeah, to get out loose hair and prevent mats, especially in those longer bits, the feathering on the legs, ears, and tail. They can really trap dirt and burrs.
Okay. And bathing, how often for that?
Generally, maybe every 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Or, whenever they decide to roll in something interesting. Use a good dog shampoo, rinse really well.
You mentioned trimming the feathers.
Yeah, just occasionally to keep them neat and manageable, stop them getting too matted or dragging on the ground.
Makes sense. Any other grooming must-dos?
Ears. Definitely ears. Those floppy ears trap moisture, which can lead to infections. So a weekly clean with a proper vet-approved solution is a really good idea.
And teeth.
Oh, absolutely. Often overlooked, but so important. Brushing their teeth several times a week helps prevent dental disease, which can affect their overall health, not just their mouth.
So grooming is healthcare too.
It absolutely is.
Okay, we've touched on vet care throughout, but let's summarize the essential preventative stuff for an Irish setter. What are the non-negotiables?
Annual checkups. Absolutely vital. That's for a full physical, but also a chance to specifically discuss joints, check the eyes, maybe do those thyroid tests we mentioned, given the breed's tendencies.
And keeping up with vaccines and parasite prevention.
Critical, especially for dogs that are active outdoors, running through fields and woods. Ticks, fleas, worms. You need that protection.
Definitely. What about spaying or neutering? Is the timing important for setters?
It's become more of a nuanced discussion lately. There's some research, particularly for larger breeds, suggesting that waiting until they're fully grown, maybe 18 months to 2 years old, might have some benefits for their orthopedic health, their joints.
Interesting.
But it's not a one-size-fits-all answer. It's really something you need to discuss in detail with your vet, considering your dog's specific situation, lifestyle, everything.
Right, a personalized decision. Okay, finally, any sort of special tips related to their personality? Good temperament?
Yeah, they're known for being quite sensitive, intelligent dogs. They respond much better to positive reinforcement training, kindness, and clear structure. Harsh methods. Not good for a setter.
Gentle guidance needed.
Exactly. And early socialization is super important too. Getting them used to different sights, sounds, people, other dogs when they're young helps them grow into confident, well-adjusted adults.
And managing that energy we talked about.
Yeah. got to circle back to that. Consistent, regular outlets for their energy are just crucial. It prevents frustration, boredom, and the potential behavior problems that can come with that.
So really understanding the whole dog, the physical needs, potential health risks, and their sensitive nature. That's the key.
That sums it up perfectly. They're incredibly affectionate, smart, energetic dogs. They give so much, and they really thrive when they get that proper care, the right training, plenty of exercise, and, lots of love.
Couldn't agree more. Being proactive is the best way to enjoy many happy, healthy years with these amazing companions. So now we want to hear from you. What are your experiences with Irish Setter health? Any tips, questions, or thoughts you want to share? Let us know down in the comments.
Yeah, hearing from owners directly is always so valuable. Adds to everyone's understanding.
Definitely. Okay, that's all for this deep dive. Have a beautiful day. Take care of your lovely doggies, and we see you on the next one.